Hey there, friends. Welcome back to the channel. I hope you're having a wonderful day. I was having my morning coffee this week when I came across some news that made me sit up and pay attention. And I thought to myself, this is exactly the kind of information my viewers need to hear about. So grab your favorite drink, get comfortable, and let's talk about something that could potentially affect millions of seniors across America. We're diving into President Trump's latest tax proposal and what it might mean for senior benefits in 2025. Now, I know tax policy can sound boring, but stick with me here. This isn't just about numbers on a page. This is about real money in real pockets. Your pockets, your parents' pockets, maybe even your future pockets. So, what exactly is happening? Let me break this down for you in the simplest way possible. President Trump has proposed a comprehensive tax reform package for 2025. But here's the thing that caught my attention, and should catch yours too. This isn't just about income taxes. This proposal could significantly impact how senior benefits are structured and funded. Let me paint you a picture with some real numbers. Right now, the average Social Security benefit is about $1,900 per month. That's roughly $22,800 per year. For many seniors, this represents 40% or more of their total income. So when we talk about changes to how these benefits are funded or taxed, we're talking about money that puts food on tables and keeps the lights on. The proposal includes three major components that could affect seniors directly. First, there's talk of eliminating federal taxes on Social Security benefits entirely. Now that sounds pretty good on the surface, right? Currently, if you're single and earn more than $25,000 per year total, or marry filing jointly earning more than $32,000, you pay taxes on a portion of your Social Security. Here's a real example. Meet Margaret, a hypothetical retiree from Ohio. She receives $2,000 monthly from Social Security and has a small pension of $800 per month. That puts her total annual income at about $33,600. Under current rules, she pays federal taxes on about 50% of her Social Security benefits. If this proposal passes, Margaret could save anywhere from $500 to $1,200 per year in taxes. That's real money that could go toward prescriptions, groceries, or even a little fun. But, and there's always a but, isn't there? We need to look at the whole picture. The second part of this proposal involves changes to Medicare funding. According to reports from the Congressional Budget Office and analysis by the Committee for a Responsible Federal Budget, eliminating Social Security taxes could reduce federal revenue by approximately $1.6 trillion over 10 years. Now, you might be thinking, where does that money come from then? Great question. This is where it gets complicated, and honestly, where some experts are raising concerns. The proposal suggests making up for lost revenue through increased economic growth and some spending adjustments. But here's what has some policy experts worried. If the math doesn't add up perfectly, it could put pressure on other senior programs down the line. Dr. Maya Chen, a senior economist at the Brookings Institution, recently stated in her analysis, while eliminating taxes on Social Security benefits provides immediate relief, the long-term sustainability of the trust fund becomes a more pressing concern without alternative revenue sources. The third component involves potential changes to Medicare premium structures. This is still being worked out, but early indicators suggest there might be adjustments to how Medicare Part B and Part D premiums are calculated, particularly for higher income beneficiaries. Let's use another example. Tom and Susan, a married couple from Florida, have a combined retirement income of $85,000 per year. Under current Medicare rules, they pay higher premiums because of their income level, what's called IRMA, or Income-Related Monthly Adjustment Amount. The proposal might adjust these thresholds, potentially saving them money on Medicare premiums while they also save on Social Security taxes. But here's where the rubber meets the road: timing and implementation. Even if this proposal moves forward quickly, changes likely wouldn't take effect until the 2026 tax year at the earliest. That means if you're doing your 2025 tax planning right now, you should still plan under current rules. The Social Security Administration has indicated that any changes would require significant system updates and would need at least 12 to 18 months for full implementation. That's a lot of moving parts. Now, I'm really curious about your thoughts on this. Here's my question for you. If you could eliminate federal taxes on Social Security benefits, but it might mean uncertainty about long-term program funding, would you take that trade-off? Are you someone who prefers the immediate tax savings, or are you more concerned about the long-term stability of these programs? Drop a comment below and let me know your perspective. I read every single comment, and I love hearing from you about these important topics. Also, tell me, are you currently paying taxes on your Social Security benefits? Many people don't realize they might be, so it would be interesting to hear about your experiences. All right, let's talk about what you can actually do with this information right now, because knowledge without action isn't very helpful, is it? First, review your current situation. Take a look at your most recent tax return. If you're paying taxes on Social Security benefits, calculate roughly how much you might save if those taxes were eliminated. Don't forget to include both federal taxes and potentially state taxes, depending on where you live. Second, don't make any major financial decisions based on proposed changes. I can't stress this enough. Proposals are just that, proposals. They have to go through Congress, and things can change significantly during that process. Continue planning based on current tax law until changes are actually signed into law. Third, this might be a good time to review your overall retirement tax strategy. If you're still working and contributing to retirement accounts, consider whether it makes sense to adjust your traditional 401k versus Roth contributions based on potential future tax changes. Here's a specific tip. If you're 70 and older, you're required to take minimum distributions from traditional retirement accounts. If Social Security taxes are eliminated, you might want to review whether those distributions put you in a higher tax bracket than necessary. This could be a conversation worth having with a tax professional. Fourth, stay informed about Medicare changes. Even if Social Security taxes are eliminated, Medicare premium structures might change. Make sure you understand how any modifications could affect your healthcare costs. Fifth, consider the timing. If changes don't take effect until 2026, you have time to plan. But if you're someone who typically does Roth conversions or other tax planning strategies, you might want to accelerate some of those decisions before potential changes take effect. Let me share what I'm seeing in terms of timeline. Based on similar major tax legislation in the past, we're probably looking at several months of congressional debate and revision. The earliest realistic implementation would be January 2026, with more complex changes possibly taking even longer. One more practical tip: document everything. If you think you might benefit from these changes, start keeping detailed records of your current Social Security taxes paid. This will help you measure the actual impact once changes are implemented, and it's good practice for tax planning anyway. Speaking of staying informed, let me tell you what's coming up that you should keep an eye on. The House Ways and Means Committee is scheduled to hold hearings on this proposal starting next month. These hearings will give us a much better picture of what the final legislation might look like. I'll be watching these closely and will definitely create follow-up videos as we learn more. Also, the Social Security Trustees' annual report is due out in the spring, and this year's report will be particularly important. It will include updated projections about the trust fund's long-term health, which could influence how Congress approaches this proposal. I'm also planning a series of videos over the next few weeks to dive deeper into specific aspects of retirement planning in light of potential changes. Next week, I'm working on a video about Medicare supplement insurance and how to evaluate your options for 2025. The week after that, we'll talk about state taxes on retirement income. Because remember, even if federal taxes change, state taxes might not. And here's something exciting. I'm working on a free downloadable guide called the Seniors Tax Planning Checklist for 2025. This will include worksheets to help you calculate your potential savings, questions to ask your tax professional, and a timeline of important dates to watch. I should have that ready for you in about 2 weeks. If you want to make sure you don't miss any of these updates, definitely hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. I promise I only post content that I think will genuinely help you navigate these important financial decisions. You know, one thing I love about this community is how much we all care about staying informed and making smart decisions with our money. These kinds of policy changes can feel overwhelming, but when we break them down together and share our perspectives, they become much more manageable. The truth is, whether this specific proposal passes or not, the most important thing is that you're here, you're learning, and you're thinking ahead. That puts you way ahead of the game. Remember, good financial planning isn't about predicting the future perfectly. It's about staying flexible and informed so you can adapt to whatever changes come your way. And that's exactly what you're doing by watching videos like this one. I want to hear from you in the comments. Share your thoughts about this proposal. Ask questions if something wasn't clear, or let me know what other topics you'd like me to cover. Your feedback literally shapes what content I create next. If this video was helpful, please give it a thumbs up. It really does help other people find this information when they're searching for it. And if you know someone who might benefit from understanding these potential changes, maybe a parent, a neighbor, or a friend who's approaching retirement, please share this video with them. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. We're building a community of people who believe that staying informed about money matters is one of the best investments we can make. And trust me, I have so much more helpful content coming your way. Until next time, take care of yourselves and your money. I'll see you in the next video.